very interesting. Anyway, talking about who? City. My friend. Yo. City looked like they are losing, like they are struggling a little bit like this, and then that man KDB came on.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a game end as soon as he comes on?
Yes. And you could feel it even at St. James's Park when he was lining up to get into the game. You could feel there was some bit of quietness in there. And then he comes in and it's a free kick that he takes. And then you're like, okay, that's a missed chance. It's a false alarm. And then a few minutes later, he scores, then has that Patrick Mahomes kind of pass to Oliver Bob. It was brilliant to see. Yes, I agree. The start from Manchester City was a bit shaky, given that they also lost their goalkeeper in that kerfuffle in the opening minutes. Maybe they had already packed because they headed to Dubai. Maybe they had packed their bags and they're already waiting to go there. But it was good adjustment. You always talk about St. James's Park being a big place where if you're not ready, you're going to suffer. And against Newcastle United, that's often the case. We saw it with PSG when they take the lead, Newcastle, and then you're going to have a rough patch. And that's what Manchester City were able to come back from. They were trailing in that game, and they came back, and they continued playing the same brand of football that they are playing. I think it was wonderful composure from the maybe champions to come.
The main things that I took from this game was this. In the first half, the back line was too high. So it made it easy for the Newcastle attacking to really get past it. Remember, they have Almiron, Isak, and Gordon. And when they are on the attack, they're really quick compared to our centre-backs, Diaz and Ake. And as you look at the first two goals that we conceded, they were, if Walker was a bit more hasty in his defending, I'm sure he could at least defend at least one of the goals. Because look at it, when Isak gets the ball, he has a second or two to decide whether to shoot it on the right or the left. If Walker blocks the ball, I'm sure we can defend our post quite well. Look at the second goal. He gives Gordon a minute or two to think about it, to think about where he wants to place the ball. And going into the second half, I think we majorly we just put more pressure in the Newcastle half, because we made sure that Newcastle didn't have the time that they had in the first half. Because think about it. In the first half, they had the time to get the ball from the goalkeeper, give it to Trippier, or give it to someone like Guimaraes, who could at least maybe put it to Isak, compared to the second half, where we pressed high and we made sure we ensured the pressure throughout the game.
I think City pressed high minute one to last.
Yes, they did.
City pressed high, and that's where the chances for Newcastle came. But like Pep said after, they just kept faith with how they play. They were like, we are going to play the exact same way. Do not panic. It will work. We are going to continue pressing them high. And yes, Kyle Walker maybe can do something about the Gordon goal.
Gordon, yeah.
The first one, I don't think he has anything he could do, because it was either he sticks to Gordon, or no, he sticks to Isak. But the run, there was a run.
Yes.
There was a run
on the
out.
right.
Yes. So he had to. He had, do you
do both? Yeah. You're stuck in the middle.
Do you press him and then he slides him in? He slips him in, or do you sort of sit in the middle and give him? Because what Isak did was the harder choice.
Yes.
To whip that ball was the hard. The easy one is to slip the guy in.
Yeah.
The second one, I thought he sort of was like, oh, mtoto hakuna mali.
I didn't think he had the guts to actually shoot the ball. But then again, Gordon has some quality in him, some confidence, some just that vibe that he can be a top player.
He's an obsessive. You read that story. I read the story about him this week. He's an obsessive. And whatever he does, even in training, and the way he's grown, just coming on from Everton and coming through to start at Newcastle United, I think he has a bright future, this guy.
And that aura of and belief in himself and his capabilities.
His confidence.
For him to come from Everton for that amount of money that he came with, and then of course consistently getting into the first 11 and also performing, he's a good player.
For me, he's a throwback. You know, it's all these modern day players. He's like a typical old school English player. He's like Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
Just an old school English guy who goes to the wing and runs and then crosses the ball.
He works hard.
Yeah, like just typical.
You can see the camera some moments before.
Because Palmer looks like they have tried to make him a bit more modern. You know, he can. Gordon looks like, let me get the ball and go to the wing and then let me cross it. Yeah, he's a bit of a throwback. But guys, I know we are saying, oh, don't say this about KDB, oh, da da da. That man is
Ah,
bad.
he's
Man, a bad man,
No,
that guy.
I agree with you, Jemo. Big player for them, and
Sure.
it's a good time to have him back. Because when he came on, I think you remember we said what City was lacking, that control. I think having him on for the few minutes he came in, the impact, he kind of controlled the game a bit for them, and he's a big time player for now. The rivals for us now, it's a big worry.
It's a bad time to have him back.
He makes them tick.
Hey, it's a bad time
He
to have him
makes
back.
him
Oh my
tick.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yesterday
A
I was on
fantastic
transit
player.
actually. I left the game when the office when it was 2-1. So as I was checking WhatsApp, I was in a WhatsApp group and guys were like, "Oh shoot, damn, yeah, Ligi Manda."
A lot of people were saying
I was
that
like,
today.
"Oh no,
And the
no,
funny
the
thing
obvious
is, I'm
just
not
happened."
surprised. I knew when he came back he would be just impactful. So I'm not really surprised, but now it's now mambo ni ngumu.
The first goal,
Mambo ni
his
ngumu.
goal, I almost feel like his goal was almost more impressive than the pass, and that is saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because
Made so
because he
easy.
passed the ball into the net from outside the box.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
the audacity, man.
like what is it?
He made a goal out of nothing. He made it so easy.
His vision, he's just
And also maybe also have to give credit to that young man called Bob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get the headline today because you're dealing with a guy who was out for 5 months and he doesn't show as if he missed any kind of football. Maybe he was just ramping up and getting ready for this January stretch. But Oscar Bob scoring his first Premier League goal was impressive, looking at how he took that first touch to get off Kieran Trippier and then has that kind of a composure to take one touch on the left boot to get past Dubravka and then slot into the net. I think that was wonderful composure from a young kid who also
In
scored in
fact,
the
for
FA
me-
Cup.
For me, it was the fact that he didn't go down despite being touched. He kept his composure. He knew, despite also it was going to be tight for him to finish that ball. He still didn't go down.
For the standard thing for me is that they left Grealish on the bench and went to him. They want to change the game, and they throw him, 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And I think it's scary when Pep starts to have such players. You know, it's okay when Pep is buying everyone, but when he starts to bring them from the academy, now he needs to go to another team. There's Oscar Bob, there's Rico Lewis, there's the other one, the one who was the ball boy and then scored.
Yeah.
So once he started, no.
The Hamilton one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You were like, shoo. Because I think, and you see, this season is weird. No one is really going away. Everyone is just bunched up.
Yeah.
Somebody's
And
going to go away, and it's either City or Liverpool.
No, I think it will be close this time.
I think it's going to be
It's going
City.
to be very close.
just bunched
I
up.
don't
If
think it will-
KDB
no,
doesn't get injured, there's no other. As in, KDB comes back, plays, and you're like, he's the best player in the league. He's been out for like 5-6 months. And we're still going to say he's the best player in the league, despite the fact that we still have other players who have been fit from the start of the season till now. But we're like, no, there's no other player who could do what this guy did in the minute. Just in how many? Less than 30?
21.
Less than 30 minutes. Come on, guys. These are the guys who win you the league.
It's worrying
No.
times for
Hey,
rivals.
yeah.
It's worrying time.
I'm trying to think of how
And they still have
Liverpool.
Haaland to come back.
Yeah, and they still have Haaland. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
who's
think
out
of
now
Liverpool.
until the end of the month.
Yeah, Liverpool are the for me they're the title contenders now after City.
Yes.
Now I'm like, okay, if Liverpool, they're still lacking something. They're going behind games, then they're coming back. So what if you curtail them from coming back into the games? Then of course they're gonna lose the games because they're conceding. But there's no standout player, maybe Mohamed Salah. But apart from that, there's no other player who has the quality such as KDB to get you over the line. We were talking about City lacking Gundogan, and I think they really lacked KDB.
Yeah, you've got to, like you said, maybe the best player in the EPL. Easy.
This is a player who could just walk straight into that Galacticos of Kina Zidane.
Yeah, he'd have a shout.
he
Yeah,
would
yeah,
actually walk
Yeah,
in.
they would have to. Yeah, we have got to give space for him.
Yes, we are giving praise to City. Yes, we've been playing, we've been adapting without KDB for the past 5 months. Yes, my only worry this season is the defense. As
I
much as
agree.
you are giving
I
praise to
agree.
Kevin,
Yes.
we are giving praise to how they're doing things in the
been
front of the
conceding
goal.
a lot of
We've been
goals.
conceding a lot of goals,
Yeah.
and still we really need an 8 because yesterday, if you take a really good look of how the game was, Rodri was really playing close to Kovacic to ensure stability because Kovacic hasn't quite hit the ground running yet because he was really trying to protect Kovacic. In as much as we were pushing forward, doing things, making things to happen, Rodri was really key in helping Kovacic play in that game. Our defense should really be key if you want to really win the league this season.
But I think, Teddy, you shouldn't be too scared. You'll always outscore your opponents. You're not like, for example, like Arsenal. Arsenal, when we concede, we should be scared. But City, you will outscore your opponents.
It's good. He says, our defense is bad. It's been conceding goals. Let's quick check as we get to the top of the hour. They've conceded 23. The only team that conceded less is Liverpool with 18, and then Arsenal with 20. That best defense in the league is not.
And how many goals have they scored?
48. Of course, best in the league.
You're gonna outscore your opponents.
So that best attack, that best defense, not too bad. But I get what you're saying. Because Diaz has looked funny. Ortega yesterday didn't look like he would save anything. He looked like James Trafford. If you just shoot in our direction, it's a goal. But